Our first speaker and our keynote speaker for this evening is the lovely Anne-Marie Wickham. Her speech is called Close the Door on the Past, Open the Door to the Future, Take a Deep Breath, and Step into Your Magical Flow, which I think is a fantastic title for a speech. So let me tell you a little bit more about Anne-Marie. So Anne-Marie is an influencer and transformational speaker based in Essex. She's the founder of Essex Hypnotherapy Centre and of Flow, an umbrella organisation of globally conscious creators. Anne-Marie's passion for personal development stems from her 18-year career in teaching. She studied extensively to develop a deep understanding of how to accelerate the healing process when working with children and adults to overcome any type of adversity. And she specialises in working with clients to set them free of and move past childhood trauma and emotional blocks. Close the door on the past, open the door to the future, take a deep breath, step into your magical flow. Anne-Marie, over to you. There we are.
Wow. No heckling, woo, phew. And that was a fantastic introduction, so thank you very much. That was a lovely, lovely title as well. And obviously, when I gave that title over back in, I think it was January, such a long time ago, that's exactly what I was going to be doing. And here we are tonight, and I haven't got any of that. So this is going to be really exciting for you all. Although I have got some of that. I just want to ask you a question. So has anybody been to a festival before? Anybody? Yeah. Good. I know I don't look like the festival type of girl, but I go to festivals as well. And the reason why I asked you this question is because have you ever been to a festival and you thought to yourself, in fact, I don't think you have, but I'm going to ask you anyway. When you're in that festival and you're having a really great time, have you actually looked around and thought, wow, I'm really impressed with the person that put all this together? How did they know how far that stage should be from that stage? And has anybody ever thought that while you were there? No one? It's surprising. Okay, so, well, I have had that thought myself. Because the reason why I am here tonight is I was going to talk to you about self-sabotage. But self-sabotage has an even worse naughty child. And that naughty child is imposter syndrome. And the reason why I asked you about festivals is because my first real memory of having appalling imposter syndrome was in 1999. I used to actually be an event manager. I used to organise large events, community events, Brick Lane Festival, and stuff like that. And one of the events that I did, it was a large event in Victoria Park, and it was Community 999. And normally, for an event that you've got sort of 20,000 visitors for, you would normally have 3 event managers. But because this was an emergency 999 event, which meant it was the emergency services ladies, you know, firemen, policemen, the army and all that kind of stuff, they only needed me. So there was me one, and I had to do all the liaising, making sure that the roads were closed and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, you sort of have a lead up of about 7 months. Anyway, we got to the day, and it was about, people think event management is glamorous. You think that, don't you? It's glamorous. But it's not. You're 5:30, first one in the morning, and you're the last one home at maybe 2 o'clock in the morning. And you do get to meet the stars, but you don't get any time to talk to them because you're too busy doing what you're doing. So 5:30 in the morning, it's still dark, and I get to Victoria Park. And as I get out of the car, and my 8-year-old son is standing next to me, who, by the way, has ADHD. So he was, Mummy, what are you going to do? So I was like, shh, let me just work it out. And as I drove on and I stood at this massive park, can you imagine how I felt? Thinking that by possibly 10:30 this morning, in 5 hours' time, this whole event is going to be up, running, there's going to be a fairground, there's going to be a Chinook flying in, everything is going to be going on. And who's responsible for that? Me. And I can tell you what, that was a really, really scary moment of feeling. I shouldn't be here. This is not my job. You know what? Maybe I could just be sick now. All those things went through my head. And as I was standing there, looking at my piece of paper that I'd worked out where everything was going to go, and thinking, how is this going to translate to what I can see in front of me? How is this going to happen? I stood there, and then within seconds, someone ran over to me and said, oh, we've got someone waiting at the gate. They need to get in. Where are they going to put their burger van? And you've got a whole field. Where does this burger van go? And then that's it, you're off and running, aren't you? That one goes there, and that one goes there. And the fairgrounds just seem to be going around there. Toilets a little bit further away, we don't want to smell that when we're eating. And so on, and so on, and so forth. And before you know it, you're in your flow. And this is what I'm talking about when you're in your flow, when you're not thinking about, oh my gosh, I've never done this before, it's really, really difficult because I've done it loads of times. And I'm not thinking about what people are going to say if I do it wrong, who's going to be talking. I'm just in my flow. And that's the best feeling ever in the world. So that was my first experience of imposter syndrome. And I want to ask you, have you ever felt out of your depth? Have you ever put yourself up for something? Or maybe, maybe you didn't put yourself up for it. Maybe you're going for a different qualification and it's just a little bit higher than what you ever would have done before. Or maybe it's your wedding day. There are so many circumstances when we are called upon to just step up and step forward. And you know in that moment that your life is going to change forever. Have you ever felt that before? It's a really special moment. And these are the moments that when you look back, you remember how brave you were. So I want really you to think about embracing your imposter syndrome and really recognising it for how special it is in your life, because without those moments, you don't grow. What you go through, you grow through, right? And so when you do challenge yourself and you recognise to yourself that this is a moment of change, I'm going to have a shift that I'm never going to have again if I don't have this moment, it actually starts becoming quite exciting, like me being here now. By the way, I did forget to ask, it was a bit rude of me, does anybody want to swap? Are you sure? Okay, so going to my notes, because I didn't do any of that I said I was going to do. I was booked to do self-sabotage, and I didn't. I'm doing imposter syndrome. So who am I? My name is Anne-Marie Wickham. This is my banner. I know the face is not really, anyway, we don't worry about that. I am a clinical hypnotherapist, and like the lovely Lisa, I also do transformational life coaching. And the way that I work with people is I like to think about it working with people to be, just to be. And for me, what B represents is before the ego. When we were young, when we used to go and play out, and we just had fun, didn't we? We didn't worry about who was looking. And I even watch them in the supermarket now. I watch these children walking along, they've got their knickers stuck up their bum, and they're pulling them out, and they don't care, do they? They don't care that you're looking. They just reach right in there and they'll take out what they need to take out. That's before the ego. That's how we should all be. We should all do what you need, because what is the point in standing there uncomfortable for half an hour really trying to do it subtly like that? You know, we've all done that one. Do you think that looks better? Do you really? So that's what I help people with, is getting to the point of where they really feel confident to be the person that they were before the ego stepped in and said, oh no, you don't want to do that. Oh no, look, everybody's looking at you. No, that person is going to limit your life in a way that wouldn't have brought you out tonight, especially you, young lady. Wouldn't have brought you out tonight, wouldn't have brought you out tonight. So when you step into your greatness, you step into your flow, all of a sudden life opens up in a wonderful way. So when do we get imposter syndrome? Usually, the first thing is about circumstances. Because right now I'm looking at every single one of you and I'm imagining you're my preschoolers. Because I used to be a nursery manager. So I'm the one in control, and you'll do as you're told and laugh when I tell you to. So that's all good. So circumstances can make such a big difference, can't they? Because you take this away from the nursery playground and you take it up to a corporate, because I work with corporate people. Let me tell you about corporate people, okay? If there's any in here tonight, hi, love y'all. As you can see, I suppose I'm not really corporate material. And one of my clients who she's become a really good friend, and she said, you know, we need you to come in and we need you to kind of break down some of these barriers. We need to do some diversity and inclusion stuff, you know, all those labels that people use, when really it's just about being nice, right? Being nice to each other. So she said to me, come and meet me. So I went up I was thinking, what should I wear? I need to look all posh, And And the reason why I'm actually a little bit apprehensive about corporate people, okay, this is a little secret between us. So when I was younger, I was in care for many years, and every time I had to step into a room where there were people with suits on, maybe 5, maybe there was a social worker, maybe there was a guardian, maybe there was all these different people, what that usually meant for me is that I was going to be sent away because I'd done something wrong. So for me, I had a really big fear of corporate people. So she said to me, Anne-Marie, you know, you've got to come in. I said, I can't do it. I can't do the corporate thing. You go back to being a child again, don't you? You know this from life coaching. Most of your fears come from the age of 0 to 7. You just don't get over them. And that's why you have a coach. It's worth it. Trust me. So there I am, and she says, come down. So I go into Costa Coffee, and I'm waiting for her, and when I get really excited, like I am now, I talk about 100 miles an hour, and she looked, and she was like, are you okay? And I said, I'm absolutely fine. And she said, what are you going to do? And I said, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I said, I'm sorry, I can't step up to corporate. They're going to have to come down to fun. She said, oh my God, what does that mean? I said, I'm going to do some hypnotherapy with them. She said, what, you're going to hypnotise me as well? I said, chill. And so we walked up to Threadneedle Street and we walked into the office. Wow, how imposing are these buildings. It's all glass, it's all grey, everything's just, you know, suits. It's just really oppressing and intimidating, you know, and I'm standing there and I just thought, I've just got to be me. And this is really what it is about, okay? She needed me there because of what I bring to the table. She didn't need me to be another corporate suit coming into the building. So I did hop, skip and jump into the building, done a little side click. I can't do it now because I've got heels on. And and we went upstairs and she sat me in an office and she said, are you sure everything's going to be okay? And I said, yeah. You know what I did? I walked into that room and there were 3 people in there and I did exactly what I've done here tonight with you. You didn't know that I did it because I did it quietly. I told Curtis, didn't I, Curtis? I told Curtis. I said, I'm going to stand at the back there and I'm going to give everybody, what's the right word? When it's make-believe, but it's not real, but it's in your head. What's that word? Metaphorical. That is what I gave you all, a hug, like this, and I touched every single one of you. Because the way that I see it is when you have that connection with people, I'm looking at every single one of you, I know that you all understand where I've been, and I know at some point that you've all felt that feeling of being an imposter. But ultimately, I would just ask you to go back to the point of where it didn't make any difference to you what people said about you. You were just you. Be you. It's the most important person you can be. Plus the fact everybody else is taken, right? So you can only ever be you. Now, I've got some little pointers. I put them there. I'm going to let some people pick some numbers out of the audience because I know there's the left side and the right side. And the right side is me, all frothy, jumpy, funny, giggly. And then there's the left side that's the numbers, yeah? They need the numbers and the stats. So I'm going to throw some numbers at you. 7, 4, 9. That's my left-sided bit. That's all I can do with the numbers. And, yeah, I know, it's weak, innit? It's weak, but that's all I got. That's all I got with the stats. How are we on the time? Because I'm going to get a 5-minute countdown so I know I'm not going to leave you. There's a big old thing there. Look at that. How did I miss that? Right. Who wants to be the lucky person to pick out a number? 1 to 10. Don't pick 2 because I've lost it. Anybody? Not 2.
I'm going to pick a number?
Yeah. 1 to 10.
7.
7. Let's go for 7. Right. It's fun, isn't it? Right. Good one. Oh, Lisa touched on it. I can't bring down. I've got really, really stiff underwear on. really need to. Right, so this is the question. Is imposter syndrome contagious? And you touched on this earlier, Lisa. Imposter syndrome is contagious because if I had stood up here, very timid, and just spoke very quietly to everybody, and just wait for someone to make me feel better. Yeah, I've been cringing in your seat by now. Yeah, just hoping, yeah. And so it is. And so, as you said, it's important for everybody in the room to recognise that could be me up there. And so I'm just going to really engage with this person. I'm going to smile. I'm going to let her know that everything's okay. So, yeah, it is absolutely. She's got all the families left. It's really important that everybody recognises that this could be all of us or any of us. And so we're all here along for the ride. So, yeah, it definitely is contagious, but you can stop it as quickly as it starts. Any more? Who's got the phone number? Lady at the back looking lovely. 4. I feel well professional doing this. Right. 4. Right. Tune into your why. This is a good one. I was talking about, this might be the political bit, yeah? Yeah, because I do political as well. I know it doesn't seem like it. This is my political bit. Tune into the why. So when you stand on a stage like this and you're feeling that, maybe you feel that you're representing people that aren't usually represented, and that is the biggest imposter syndrome ever. You might feel, I'm standing up here as a black boy and I'm looking around, I can't see many chocolate faces myself. And I'm thinking, I'm here representing, I'm out here representing. That can be enough to just make you feel like you're an imposter, right? But I truly believe, and I did touch on it with my handsome young man there, he did say, don't get into diversity inclusion, don't get into it. But I'm going to get into it because I don't come from a state of any one of those 9 characteristics. And look, I did the global goals, that's my political bit, right? I'm clever, yeah? They're global goals. But I don't care about global goals. I care about people. And I care about the inside my meat jacket and inside your meat jacket. I call them meat jackets because underneath we're all the same. So we can put fancy labels out there. We can call it diversity and inclusion. We can call it equality. All of those labels that people get paid loads of money for. Why can't we just have kindness ambassadors? Kindness and happiness. Wouldn't it be so much easier? At least you know what they want. Who's ever tried to fill in one of those diversity, inclusion things and thought to themselves, I don't even know what I'm supposed to put here. You know, you go for the job that I've done this one, right? And I am black. I've gone to those interviews where they say, and what do you think about equal opportunities? You know, how would you show that in the work? I say, yeah, you have to memorize all the words, don't you? You just hope that you say something that they're going to go, oh yeah, that's fine, tick that one. Right? Because they put so many words and labels on it, you kind of lose sight of what it is, and it is just about being kind to each other. Just about being nice to each other. 4 minutes. Right, we've got one more. I'm going to pick one.
2.
What did I say? Don't make me look back. Cut that. Curtis. I'm not coming back to him. Up the back, ladies. Beautiful ladies up the back. 9. 9? I like 9. 9. Look at 9. Oh, hey, look. Right, perfect. Inside out. I didn't make it up. Thank you. And inside out is really again about that internal point of reference. When you, and this is the work that I do with everybody. I work with children as young as 5 years old. I'm a hypnotherapist. And the one thing they ask me for, apart from can you make me fly, that is a favourite top one, is I can do it, but I don't let them. Because I don't pay enough, I only do it for the adults. One thing they always ask me for is I need more confidence. Yeah. And you know what, I worked with this young boy called Ben, lovely, he was 6 years old. And anytime he used to get an answer wrong in the classroom, he would run out of the classroom and go and hide in the sheds at the back of the playground. And someone would have to come and get him. And it was really sad. And I did 6 sessions with him. And at the end of it, I said to him, Ben, what more could you need to make you feel confident? Super Ben, because I give them all superpower names, they choose them themselves. What more could I give you that you could go out in the world and be your amazing self? He said, Anne-Marie, I don't need anything else. I feel I could fly right now. You know, and that is the power of people recognising it starts in here. And the more that you look outside for people to give you validation for who you are, the more you're going to be disappointing people. Okay? The first person that you need to know is your champion, is your best friend, is always looking out for you, never lets you down, never says, oh my God, you look really rough. That person that you need to fall in love with, yeah.
I tell her she looks rough sometimes.
I'm not helping. Sorry. That beautiful person is inside each and every one of you, okay? And what you need to start doing is sack the critic and employ the coach, because the coach resides in each and every one of you. You can hear them calling sometimes, but sometimes you oppress them and you let the critic win. Don't do that. Be kind to yourself, because you are your first point of call. So with that, shall I sing now? I've got 1 minute 53. What would you like? I'm going to pick, look at this one. How did I leave this one out? Quick, I've got 1 minute 44 to do this one. You are the expert. Or why would they be here? Isn't that a lovely one? Right? Because any one of you could be up here, couldn't you?
Risky biscuit?
Right, risky biscuit. Can I choose the risky Biscuit. But the point is, any one of you could be up here, and the fact that you are here, tonight, the fact that every time you're in a position where you need to step up, you're stepping up because you know deep down you are the authority on what you're talking about. You know this, don't you? Don't let that critic jump in and make things difficult for you. There was a reason why you stood up or you put your hand up or you thought, I'm going to take this opportunity. Remember that reason and think from the inside out, not the outside in. No. 54 seconds. No, do you know what? It's been absolutely wonderful coming here this evening. I was a bit apprehensive, if I'm honest with you. I do really speak to corporate audiences because they don't really know what to make of me, so they always like me. But when you're with normal people, you're taking a bit of a gamble. Do you know what I mean? So, I'm sorry if you're offended by anybody if I called you normal. Sorry. I used to come in the 70s when Chelsea, you don't remember Chelsea Girl and Top Shop and all those. It's changed so, I know, changed so much. So just thank you for making me feel so comfortable. Thank you for all your smiles. Thank you for your warmth. Thank you for your energy. And thank you for your time.